Okay? Nobody's happy. Everything sucks. And the red meat that he offers the base is basically dunking on Jimmy Kimmel. The red meat that he offers the base is dunking on and engaging in mass apprehension of Guatemalans and Mexicans and Haitians around the country that are simply trying to make ends meet and have even less than Trump's base of support. Anyway, exclusive. Trump sounds off on Kimmel. Dead network CNN, no credibility. Let's take a look.
The biggest newsmaker was, again, President Donald Trump. I accompanied the president for a whirlwind trip to the United Kingdom, reporting on his very busy state visit. Friday night, after we both returned to Washington, I joined the president in the diplomatic reception room at the White House. President Trump, welcome to the first edition of the Sunday Briefing. You are our first guest. You will be a very tough act to follow.
Wow, thank you.
Before you were the president, though, you were a TV producer. I've never hosted a TV show before. So what do I do? Should I lead with a joke? Do we do the questions?
I think in your case, I can say honestly, just be yourself. You've done a great job. Your father's very proud of you. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. And you're definitely his son. I look at you, there's no question about that. But just be yourself. Keep doing the job you're doing. You're doing great.
Thank you, President Trump. Let's get right into it. Politics. Today there is a report that AOC wants to run for president in 2028. This new Sunday show, it's kind of a next-gen Sunday show. We're trying something new. Do you have anything nice to say about AOC?
Well, look, she's the wrong philosophy for the country in terms of keeping America great. We're making it great. We're taking in so many different elements of success.
Are you allowed to stream deep throating? Dog, if I wasn't allowed to stream deep throating, I would never be able to show you anything that Fox News does with Donald Trump. There's just nothing. There's nothing I could, there's no coverage that I could show you of Donald Trump because he doesn't do interviews where he's not getting deep throated.
Including tremendous trillions of dollars. And our country's being great again. We have a closed border now. Nobody is coming in illegally. They're coming in legally, not illegally. So many things have happened. Her philosophy is so bad. She's got a little spunk. She's got a little something that's good. Joe Crowley, she ran against him, and I said, you know, Joe, you're going to lose this thing unless you go out and campaign. I watched her campaigning a little bit. I happened to turn on television. I saw her campaign. It was almost like by accident. And I said, you're going to have to run a little bit. And, oh, well, no, she's a young girl, he said. She's a young girl. She'll be. I've taken on many of them, and he ended up losing pretty easily, actually. She's got a little something, but her philosophy is bad for the country. I don't think that philosophy can come close to winning.
And the reason that I ask is because there's this New York Times excerpt of Kamala Harris's book. She says, she writes, that in private, you were very nice to her. And she says that on the phone, you called her a tough, smart customer. Did that happen?
Not that I know of, but I was nice to her. I met her a couple of times, and I was always nice to her. And I'd be nice to AOC, too. I thought Kamala would have done a better job than she did in terms of running, because we really won by a lot. And I thought she would have done better. We have, in counties, did you hear, 2,700 to 525. That's nationwide. And I said, that's a little surprising, because, you know, the Democrats have certain advantages when it comes to voting, but not this time. But I was very nice to, I would be nice. I don't think I've ever met AOC, but I would be nice to her also. I'm basically a nice person. People just don't know that.
Over in Europe, you were with business leaders.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like squeezing a stone to get water out of it. Getting this man to say anything nice about someone who isn't like a Broadway musical director is already difficult in and of itself. Getting him to say something nice about a prominent Democrat is virtually impossible. Yeah, if they were to be like, hey, say something nice about Andrew Lloyd Webber, he will tell you all day, every day about how fantastic Andrew Lloyd Webber, he was amazing, he was fantastic. They really done a disservice to his work. Get him to talk about the golfers, like famous golfers, like Arnold Palmer. He's got a huge one. A fat, biggest you've ever seen. The world would feel like an earthquake when he took his pants off. Elon filmed alone by a hog at the memorial. Yeah, he's too busy tweeting about race riots that must happen in the UK right now, probably. or tweeting about yours truly. We have to make sure that this guy is deplatformed. Is a very not good. Yeah. Concerning.
Everything that you do, there's a business aspect to it.
Yeah.
What is a worse business to be in right now? The captain of a cartel drug boat in the Caribbean.
They're in trouble.
Or a late night network TV talk show host.
Oh, they're both in trouble, although Greg Gutfeld's doing great. You know, so I think I'd take that one by a long shot. We have the water drugs, I call them the water drugs, pretty much stopped. In fact, I think water fishing, I think almost anything we have to get into a boat right now in that area would not be doing too well. We have to stop the drugs from coming into our country and our people. So we've lose, in my opinion, 300.
Bro, he is desperately trying to start a war with Venezuela. By the way, this is just a straightforward threat that, like, they're gonna fishermen. It might even be a recognition that they have fishermen.
1,000 plus a year to fentanyl and drugs coming into the country. So when you feel badly for somebody that gets blown away, you have to remember there are thousands of people. Each one of those people is responsible for at least hundreds of people. And we have to stop it. We have no choice.
There's so much noise about this late night TV drama. Now we know there's various reports. Disney's CEO, Bob Iger, reviewed Jimmy Kimmel's monologue, and he thought that it was over the line. He's the one who benched him. Now that that's out there, your critics are saying, well, the White House and the FCC are intimidating critics of President Trump. Is that what's happening here?
No, I don't think so at all. We have a...
Dog, you literally revealed... Dude, this is so funny. He flexed on it. He demanded it. He got it. He got excited that he got it. Demanded more of it to other enemies of Trump. It's so unimaginably stupid that we're just having this back and forth. Brendan Carr straight up threatened to pull broadcasting licenses at Trump's direction. Trump enjoyed it and said it was awesome. It is ridiculous.
A group of people that do watch over this, as you know. Brendan is a fantastic patriot. He really is. And he's, I think, doing a good job. But he's done nothing that's over the line. He just says you have to be honest. I just had it a little while ago. You may have seen it. I talked to people about 97% of the things they say about me on television are negative. And, you know, how do you win if that's the case? And the credibility of television's way down, most television. You guys are doing a lot better. I disagree with your pollsters because I've always proven to be right on that. I would say your pollsters, I don't think your pollsters are any good on Fox, but generally speaking, and the anchors they're phenomenal. But you don't have that with other networks. I think that's why they're down. They're down so low in ratings.
Yeah, dude, do something good for once, man. Anything, please. I would love that. This only does bad shit and then gets mad when a fairly servile media class accurately covers it. Like, what? They're not even accurately covering it, to be fair. They're just not offering sufficient glaze. They're just not all doing what Fox News does. That's it. That's what he's pissed off about. It's so frustrating. Is what they're doing considered 69? I don't even think so, because Trump is being a selfish top here. He's just getting a suck job and not even returning at all.
CNC is like a dead network. It's, if you call it cable, I guess. CNN is, it's really a crying shame what happened to CNN, but they're down, they're dead, nobody watching. And they're dead because they have no credibility. You guys do have credibility, and it's a great thing to have.
We know which hosts you don't like at late night. If one of these CEOs, like Bob Iger, called you and said, okay, Mr. President, Uncle, who would you want to see as a late night network TV talk?
Well, you know,
why is this a major concern for the quote unquote leader of the free world? No, uncle means it's boomer speak for I give up. Okay. Calling uncle means you just are saying you gave up. But again, take yourself out of what you are watching for a brief moment and have a top-down approach. Just let's look at this with a bird's eye view for a brief moment. Let's understand the conversation that's taking place at a time when housing is more expensive than it ever has been in U.S. history, where the top six companies in the United States of America, all tech stock, by the way, have a collective market cap of over $20 trillion, which is larger than the entirety of the Chinese economy. Okay. The cost of living crisis is still ongoing. And the only thing that these guys have seemingly addressed is like minor culture war issues that are not pertinent to any of those problems, that don't actually solve anybody's issues in terms of affordability, whether it be incredibly important things like shelter or college education or even groceries. I'm sorry, but having a back and forth about who your favorite late night TV show host would look like is so insane to me. Electricity bills are out of control as a direct consequence of this administration's policies with data centers that are propping up left and right all over. And all of that is just leading to this like explosion of dog shit AI. Donald Trump is taking unprecedented steps in eroding the First Amendment, unlimited funds to Israel. Everything sucks. Everything sucks. Okay? Nobody's happy. Everything sucks. And the red meat that he offers the base is basically dunking on Jimmy Kimmel. The red meat that he offers the base is dunking on and engaging in mass apprehension of Guatemalans and Mexicans and Haitians around the country that are simply trying to make ends meet and have even less than Trump's base of support. What are we doing? What will it take for every single normie to look at this and go, this is completely ridiculous? Why the are you worrying yourself with dumb shit like this? Why are we supposed to sit around and be like, oh my God, Charlie Kirk was such an amazing figure. I can't believe how violent the left is. Like, this is a moment for people to wake up and realize that their neighbors, regardless of their political ideology, are not their enemies, okay? On the one hand, this dipshit in charge keeps repeatedly saying, oh, it's the country is so divisive because the left is so divisive. Meanwhile, that reflection is a way to beef up the tensions. That statement in and of itself is divisive. The president is saying that specifically so you think, if you are a Republican, if you're a Trump voter and you're in here, which not many of you are, obviously, but he's saying that so you don't pay attention to all of the real problems that you're experiencing. Part of the reason why the cost of goods is going up, cost of groceries is going up, is because of his also insane tariffs regime too, which many Republicans actually did not enjoy, which is why he went back and forth on whether he was going to do tariffs at all. Not that it matters, because even that volatility caused a lot of issues. So yeah, I guess if you're in the top 10% of wealth right now that own 90% of the entirety of the stock market, as the stock market is like propped up by the confidence that it always has to be a bull market, therefore your net worth will grow. If you're a part of that group, an increasingly smaller number of people in this country, then things are looking relatively fine. But even though of political instability, and you recognize it, and that probably frustrates you, right? And you are still impacted by the affordability crisis, and obviously it's less meaningful the wealthier you get. But the president is not even remotely invested in fixing any of these issues. What will it take for you to realize that this is no longer a left-right fight, and it never really was? People refuse to recognize this as an up and down fight rather than a left-right fight. It is not your neighbors that are your enemies here. It is not the random Guatemalan migrant that's just like working for pennies on the dollar that is the reason why you are experiencing unprecedented affordability issues. That's still left, right? No, it's not. No, it's not. Not at all. There are liberal billionaires. There are Republican billionaires. There are conservative billionaires. Capital owners come from every different background, color, and creed. They exhibit class solidarity first and foremost. Easily understood by the layman, what I'm talking about is profit over people. Okay? If you put profits over the interests of the citizens, then you are of the capital owner class, or you are at least a loyal soldier for the capital owner class. Now, this doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who get way too invested in the partisan narratives, or way too invested in the narratives that undocumented migrants are responsible for all of this violence in this country, or the affordability crisis in this country. There certainly are. People do eat it. People do believe it. But it is upon all of us to try to pull them back to reality to the best of our ability.
I'd love to tell you that, to be honest, but all I do is I make enemies. They'll say, why didn't you pick me? There are people that have great talent that aren't being utilized right. And I'm pretty good at that. I think I'm good at talent. And you have people that are really very good. Now, if I name 5, and I could do that quickly, but I'm going to have 6 or 7 that are going to be really angry that I didn't name them. And so it would be a really dumb question to, if I answer that question, I can only get myself in trouble. I will say this. You have some people that are terrific on Fox and elsewhere that really would do well. When I look at Jimmy Kimmel, he had no talent. He had no talent. He was a crazy, I don't know if you remember, I did a truth before he gave out the Best Picture Award in the Academy Awards. He hosted it. He did a terrible job. I said, what a terrible job he did. He's the worst host in Academy history. And this was during the show, and he saw it. And just before the climax of the whole show, like Best Picture or Best Actor, whatever it was, he read my truth, saying about how bad he was. And then, I dispute this. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. His wife was begging him not to do it. His agent was begging him not to do it. There's something wrong with the guy. When I look at Fallon, he's the most insecure-looking person I've ever seen on television. And the other one, Colbert, who just got...
Bro, getting mad at Jimmy Fallon is so crazy, from the right especially. Like, he is exactly what you want. Like, what do you want then? You just want Greg Buttfeld, I guess. It's like, Jimmy Fallon is basically the most apolitical vessel you could have as a late night talk show host. And the rest of these guys are also not exactly card-carrying anti-fascist, radical Trantifa members either. Okay? But like, Jimmy Fallon is basically the most milquetoast out of all of them. Every single one of them are vanilla from Jimmy Kimmel onward. But Jimmy Fallon is like the most vanilla, the most milquetoast. Like, what the fuck? I just don't understand, like, what the expectation is here. That, like, every late night talk show host is supposed to be like a card carrying Fox News host or something.
Canceled, as you know, just terrible. And it's 100. Think of this: it's 100% bad about Trump. They don't say it's anything good. Even conservatives. Somebody said I think in 2 years, 2 or 3 of them, maybe all 3 of them, they never even spoke to a Republican or conservative. It's one of the reasons they do so badly, because they don't realize what's happening. But when you look at these shows, and when you look at how untalented they are, I could get people off the street to do a better job than Colbert. He's terrible. He's terrible. And it's not because he says bad things. I don't watch it. Purposely, I don't watch it, but I don't find it enjoyable. I don't find him good. I don't find any of the three. I could get people off the street. Right now, you and I could walk outside of the beautiful White House, walk down the street. I could look at some people, and they would do better in ratings, and they would have more talent than any of those three guys.
That'd be a good bit for our new show.
Well, we could do it. Let's do it sometime. I mean, actually, we can do it now because Washington, D.C. is safe. See, that was a good way of getting into that. But no, you know, it's funny. Washington, oh boy, it was so bad. And now it's so good. People are going to restaurants again. The restaurants, new ones are opening. Washington, D.C. is now a really safe city. And a year